pinned there in chat from Adventure to Potato. Let your friends know we're here and what you're doing, who we're coming out for. Support them for the run, and in doing so, we can support Save the Children through Speed Doxathon 2023. This is the annual fundraiser. Thank you so much for coming. Day 2, and we're rocking and rolling.
And welcome back to our coverage of the 2006 All-Star Game. Leading off for the National League is Alfonso Soriano, and what a year he's having. As we get settled into this one, Roy Halladay on the bump, getting the start for the American League. And 0-0 count. Hideaway Cutter, 0-1. Oh, I'm sorry, we interrupt our coverage of this game to bring you a basketball game with Larry Johnson going up. Matembo has the ball, gets hard foul, but the refs are letting him play. Brings it up the court, and boom, shakalaka! A dunk. Oh no, sorry. Bears Saints. Bears are at the goal line. What are they going to run here? They hand it off to the running back, and touchdown! Bears 35. We're playing Brent Hull's hockey now. Oh, and a hard check. The refs are letting them play. You love to see it. And goal! Goal! St. Louis has scored. Janney, no assists. Well, you loved it. And we interrupt our hockey coverage to bring you this Beyond the Arc 3 from Yosemite Sam. Tasmanian Devil goes up the court and slams it down. Daffy checks the ball into Yosemite Sam. He goes to a spot Beyond the Arc and drains it in. If you want to see more clips like this and more, go to youtube.com/sports_fix. That's youtube.com/sports_fix.
Save the children, and through that means right now with you all sitting here watching, coming out supporting your runners through Speed Dox's annual fundraiser, Speed Doxathon 2023. We're here with our second run on the second day with huds601 and crew, and then Mendez is here commentating. If y'all want to introduce yourselves, you're more than welcome.
Hello! Yes, despite what the layout might say at the moment, this isn't Sonic Adventure, although Knuckles is in this level.
Oh, it's fixed for you now.
It's fixed. Excellent. Hi, everyone. I'm huds601. Yes, I'm going to be running the Sonic Boss Rush Shuffler for you all. We'll get into that in just a little second. We're going to have plenty of time to explain. A couple of things to get out of the way before that, though. First off, I do have a commentator with me, the one, the only, the wonderful Mendez. Mendez, how are you?
Hello! Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I found myself once again sat here in the SDAT commentary chair for another incredible run. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah,
It's a comfy chair.
It's a great chair. It's always lovely having you here, Mendez. Yeah, huge thank you to SDAT for inviting me back, by the way. It's lovely to be here. Second thing, just to get out of the way as well, this game will have a lot of sudden game swaps and thus flashing images. So big flashing lights warning for any of you out there that are sensitive to flashing lights or to game swapping very quickly. Please just be aware that that will be happening throughout the run. It's not quite as intense as things like the ring shuffler, but for any of you that are a bit sensitive to it, basically if you start to feel uncomfortable, please look away from the screen until you feel comfortable to look back again. Finally, Emily, we had a bid war for this to decide the boss count that we were going to be using. Could you let me know what the winner is, please?
I'm going to refresh because we did hit it. We completed it. And, oh, let's see. Maybe I should get my, life together. You know? No worries. While we're getting this. Mendez, anything more to add before the start?
I see from CC it's unlimited.
Yeah, I think it's going to be unlimited.
Okay, yes, unlimited. I just got the confirmation.
Hey,
yes.
Cool. Fantastic. Cool. So just to explain what this is for everyone. So we are going to be playing Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Sonic & Knuckles. 4 games, 42 bosses between them. And the important thing with the boss count, the default is 4. What that means is that the game would load in 4 bosses and then start shuffling between them. With the unlimited boss count category, we're going to load in all 42 bosses, and then it will start randomly shuffling between all of them at the same time. Every time we hit a boss, it will shuffle to a new one. So we'll explain more of it as we go. I'm just going to shuffle the seed. The other important thing about this is that it's a completely random seed. I have no idea what order they are coming in. But we are going to get this run underway in 3, 2, 1, go. And starting off with Wing Fortress.
Alright, I hope everybody likes boss introductions because we're going to see a lot of them up to the first hit. So yeah, starting here in Sonic 2 with Wing Fortress, getting the first hit, going over to Final Zone. So yeah, hopping over to Sonic 1.
We're going to get about 11 minutes of this. It takes a little while to load them all in, and then the true chaos will begin. So, just to give you all a little bit of background as to what this is. In fact, Mendez, do you want to give everyone a little bit of info as to what the Boss Rush Shuffler is, what the magic box is?
Yeah, so there's a game developer called Alistair Aitchison, who has developed the Magic Box, and originally it was designed as a ring shuffler, so every time you picked up a ring, you would shuffle over to another game. And that has been built upon over the last few years to add new features. It's got networking, it's got multiplayer capabilities, it's got all kinds of different criteria for shuffling. You can mess with the VRAM and things like that when you pick up rings. And one of the newest features that has been really popular among speedrunners is the Boss Rush Shuffler, where it has 42 save states, one for each boss, and every time you hit the boss or cause damage to the boss, it randomly takes you to another of these save states. So you've kind of got like 42 sessions at the same time, all happening at the same time, and all just kind of swapping between them. So that we had Hilltop, we got Launch Base over here, and these are all basically separate instances of the game that all have their own state, but some things will be carrying over between them. You'll notice the ring count when we switch carries over, so we've got 19 rings here. Also, we have just hit Sandopolis 1, which is our first kind of special kind of boss, because this is a boss that you don't actually do damage to. This boss will just die at the end, so we're going to see this boss actually all the way through. What a treat.
It's worth mentioning that
is Hud's shaking his head? Yeah.
So the Guardian here, this particular boss, even if you hit this boss, the game doesn't actually register it as damage in the memory. You can't actually damage this boss whatsoever, which is why we physically can't swap away from this one. This is one of 2 bosses in the unlimited category where when we get to it, we actually complete it before moving on. This one because we have no choice. The other one being Labyrinth 3. Keep an eye out for when that one comes up from Sonic 1, because for that particular boss, it's actually quicker not to hit the boss, and we can complete it without hitting it. So while I said that we're going to technically load in 42 bosses, realistically we're going to load in 40 simultaneously, because there's 2 we're going to complete along the way.
Hey, 1 down. 1 out of 41. 1 out of 42 complete. Let's go.
41 to go. So you'll see at the bottom of my screen, by the way, in the bottom left, there's a death counter and a swap counter, so you can see how many times we swapped, and also how many deaths I've taken. It's worth noting that the unlimited category here is the only one I've never completed deathless. I've done it with a single death, but never deathless. Realistically, for unlimited, expect to see somewhere in the region of maybe 8 to 10 deaths. As Mendez was kind of explaining earlier, one of the most important things with this is that the rings carry between bosses, which means if for any reason I take a hit on a boss and then I suddenly swap away, I'm going to be swapping away to my next boss with no rings. Now, it's not always a huge issue, but for some bosses, it can be a bigger issue than others, whereby a good example of that is Launch Base 2, where when you've done the first part of 3 bosses, there's a 1-minute cutscene to get through. If I die after that cutscene, I'm then going to have to sit through it again. It's a 1-minute time loss, so there's potential for huge time loss. This is another really bad one for that Death Egg finale here. So what we tend to do is firstly, I will always prioritize rings. That is the most important thing. The ring count will just keep going up and up here, but realistically, we're going to end up with 1 ring. The 1 ring to rule them all. I will be prioritizing that ring above everything when it comes to the actual shuffling. Now, if I were to lose it, you will potentially see me take basically a tactical death, where I will intentionally, 69 rings, nice, where I will take an intentional death in a level where I'm only going to lose a few seconds to then go back to the checkpoint and grab more rings for safety in future levels. So just keep a little eye out for that. If you do see me look like I'm intentionally taking a death, it's because I am. But yeah, we're coming up to 5 minutes in. We've now got 20. This is boss number 20 of 42, so we're almost at the halfway point. So yeah, we're doing pretty good at the moment.
I've definitely seen Final Zone and the final bosses of Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, so we've not seen the final boss of Sonic 2 yet.
That one's still to come. Quite a lot of the Sonic ones as well. Marble Spring Yard Labyrinth still to come. So the really nice thing is, obviously, this doesn't work with live split, which we normally use for doing speedrun splits, because we're going to be swapping back and forth. Alistair was actually kind enough to develop in Unity a specialized auto splitter for this that keeps track of how long you spend in every single boss, which I do have up next to me, just so I can kind of keep an eye on which bosses are loaded and keep a rough track of how well I'm doing, because that'll give me a good idea as to whether or not I'm going to come in underestimate, because the unlimited category is definitely the hardest one to bring in under 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are, Doomsday collecting lots of rings.
Absolutely. Cannot possibly give enough shout outs to Alistair Aitchison for making all of this possible, because the things that he's developed and the fun stuff that he's made with the Magic Box is so good. Here we have Doomsday. So yeah, Doomsday counts as a separate stage for the purposes of the bosses.
Yep. Yeah, so for
this
the
is also a very important one. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, for the ring count, Doomsday is done separately. There is a setting where you can make Doomsday count the same rings as the other levels, but it means if you take a hit, you basically instantly die when you come back to Doomsday. So we don't do that. Yep. There we go. And we passed 100 rings, so as long as I don't do anything silly now and lose them, you're basically going to hear me, for every level that has rings, you're going to hear me collecting an extra life every single time I go in. It doesn't matter because we've got unlimited lives, but it's just a fun quirk of the unlimited category.
Yeah.
Totally not Stub Smith, said Alistair Aitchison. Generally an excellent person.
He
So
is
not
an
just for the
excellent
tools, huh?
Very
And
much so.
he only lives about 10 miles from me as well.
Oh, that's so cool.
Just as pure coincidence, yeah.
Literally a small world, huh?
It's a very small world, but a wonderful world. Some other really cool things. By the way, this is completely free to download. For the Boss Rush Shuffler, you need very specific versions of the games. All the information's on his website, alistair.games. But this is free to download and free to play, and I'd really encourage you all to give this a go. If you ever played the Sonic games as a kid, like, give these a go, and hopefully, like, firstly, hopefully you'll enjoy it, and secondly, you'll get a feel for just how difficult this actually is, because I'm hoping, at least, fingers crossed, that I make this look relatively easy today. Famous last words.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
That's the goal, to make this look easy. So I basically, when I started running this, very quickly figured out that most of the normal quote-unquote speedrun strats for the bosses you can't actually use. The biggest problem being is that you don't know when you're going back to the level, and most of them actually require quite precise and finite movement that you don't often realize you're doing. And yeah, when I first tried running this, it was a disaster because, of course, I tried to do all the usual strats and failed miserably and died like 30 times. So quite a lot of the bosses, we've kind of developed new strats for them, new ways of completing them, essentially safe ways of completing them, whereby it doesn't matter when you go back to it, you know that Sonic's going to be in a safe position. Now, not every boss has one of these, so there is a little bit of luck involved in the seed. And it is one of the other big problems, the fact that we do mandate that the seed is always shuffled, so it's not like you can practice a seed and get a nice order of bosses that you really like. You just kind of have to put up with what you like, the cards that you're dealt.
Yeah, and another particularly important part about how the seed's dealt is the last one that you get, because obviously once there's only one left, there won't be any shuffling anymore. So we really want that last one that we get to be a nice easy one that we're not going to have to shuffle. Yeah. Which is not so much a consideration for the unlimited category, but it's certainly one for the others.
Sadly not, no. Oh, I've missed my jump there, that's fine. I'll just play this a little bit safer than normal. That's not safe. There we go. No, there's a specific timing for the jumps just to make them all safe there, and I messed it up, but it's fine. Yeah. So, 35 swaps. This is number 36, so there's just 6 more to load right now. One of them still being Labyrinth, believe it or not. Up to 200 rings now. So we've got lots of rings. Don't worry, we're going to lose them all in a second. I promise you we're going to lose the rings, and we're just going to keep one. That's all that matters. What else was I going to mention about this? Oh yeah, the magic box. Another couple of things. Obviously, there's the ring shuffler option with the magic box, so you can have it change games every time you collect a ring and just complete all the games normally. One of the other really cool things that Alistair added recently, though, is that he has added the 999 ring challenge, whereby you essentially have to try and collect 999 rings as fast as possible. And every time you complete a level or go into a checkpoint, it just shuffles you to a different level in a different game. And he's then complemented that recently with the 9,999 ring challenge. And there's all sorts of rules, like every time you swap a level, it banks your rings and stuff like that. But yeah, there's all sorts of different ways that you can play with it. The magic box is a lot of fun, and the boss rush shuffler is one of my favorite bits. But we're here in Lab 3 now, so I'm going to try and complete this, 1, without the water catching me, and 2, without hitting Robotnik, and 3, without getting hit myself. Ooh, my timing's rough here. There we go. And then watch out for him, because he can still hit you there. Oh, there you go.
Beautiful,
2 down.
and that is 2 down!
Hooray! Alright, 3 to load. Sky Sanctuary. We've still got Aquatic Ruin and Mystic Cave to go. Both of which we don't collect rings on, so that's going to be your last extra life sound.
So is Mindas the mythical person that has completed Sonic 1 Boss Rush Shuffler blindfolded?
I've done every boss other than... So it wasn't... Okay, they were in a random order, but I didn't have shuffling on hit. But I have done every boss in Sonic 1 blindfolded other than Labyrinth. That is the one that still eludes me.
Okay, now we're into the shuffling phase. So all bosses are now loaded. We have 40 still to complete. Oh, I'm in a really bad position in Lava Reef 2. I have completely messed up my positioning there, but that's fine. We'll work it. So this is where chaos kind of ensues, and while I'll try and describe bits that I'm doing, yeah, good luck. So,
yeah,
and there
absolutely.
go the rings.
Here we are back in the final boss of Sonic & Knuckles, and then we head over to, and then we had, no, switching back up, and then switching back up to Green Hill, and then we're going to, nope, alright, Light Battery, alright, this is a nice calm hit, and then we'll go back to, Large face, and then Hidden Palace.
So yeah, hence the flashing. Oh no, that's bad. Tails. Oh, Tails, that was so close. So you saw there, I got my positioning slightly wrong in Hydrosity Act 2. So I thought, yeah, 3 next. I got my positioning slightly wrong. As a result, took a hit, needed to go and get that ring quick, and then Tails decided in his infinite wisdom to go and hit the boss for me. Yes, if Tails hits the boss, it will also shuffle. And that can be really problematic on some bosses, specifically Mystic Cave. He has a real habit of wanting to get involved in Mystic Cave. The big problem with Mystic Cave, is that there's no rings. So there's certain levels where there's no rings to actually collect. The Sonic 1 levels are really bad for this, by the way. So if we take a death in those levels, like, it's not helpful to us because we can't collect a ring for safety. So yeah, you will always see me try and prioritize that ring if things do go a bit awry, but we do have other ones like here in Wayne Fortress where there's actually a couple of rings in the boss arena. I'm going to try and keep them there as long as possible just for backup. And then there's a couple of other levels as well, like Mushroom Hill 1, where at the end of the level, we're guaranteed a ring box. So that's another kind of potential during the run of, like, some backup rings if we need them. But realistically, we just need one ring. One ring is what we're going to keep and just keep working our way through. Final zone, I've done the manipulation here. So this should be 4, 3, 2, 4, 2, 1, 4, 3. So 2 should come up next. I just need to remember every time I go back to it what part of the pattern I'm actually on. Which is part of the tricky bit there. Hilltop, I'm not in a great position right now. I'm going to be honest. That was bad timing, yep. Should have known that was going up. Now, there's some other fun little quirks to this as well. There's some fun quirks if you take a hit from a boss, so technically you lose your rings, but you hit the boss on the exact same frame. It can do some fun quirks with you shuffling away but not actually losing your rings because the game doesn't have time to update your ring count. So there's some weird quirks with that sometimes can save you. And then there's some other fun quirks whereby certain bosses, like here for example, as well as in Doomsday, oh, that's really bad. I shouldn't have waited that long. In Doomsday, where things like the second to last hit doesn't actually shuffle you away. There's little quirks like that all around, but long story short is this is pretty much it now for the next 25 minutes, hopefully less.
Yeah, I have to tell you, chat's also equally chaos. They're all between memes and just commenting the chaos. Also, who is Ted?
Who's Ted? Ted is my cat and our lovely channel mascot, and we all love Ted. Yeah, I have 2 cats. I have Ted and Alfie. Ted, who is absolutely lovely, and I have Alfie as well, who is pure chaos.
I kind of want the Ted cam now.
Yeah, they are very cute. And Ted is indeed an affiliate Twitch streamer.
He is, yeah. So a little bit of self-promo, because why not? Yeah, I actually have a second channel. It's called Ted601, where I occasionally during the weekday will stream Loaf Cam when I'm working from home. So you can catch Ted and Alfie on that if you want to go follow. He is genuinely an affiliated Twitch streamer. He got affiliate faster than I did, which is...
That is amazing.
Yeah, Ted got affiliate in 5 days. How is that even a thing?
I mean, is it really self-promo if it's your cat? I mean
true.
Right, it's not. Yeah, it's your cat.
Oh, that's bad position. Okay, so this is why I didn't want the green ball to go over there. Oh, I'm in real trouble now. I'm actually in real trouble. Tails, get the ring.
Tails, keep grabbing the ring. Oh.
Okay, I forgot that if you get stuck on that wall, you're stuck.
Tails can be a great help in this, and also a great hindrance.
That is so true. Truer words have never been spoken. I don't like my positioning in a couple of these levels. Hilltop's a little bit suspect right now. So Hilltop's one of these ones where I get the last hit, I desperately need to hold on to this ring. 4, 3, 2, 4, 2,
have you just
1.
lost your minute? No.
No, it's fine. Okay. Every time. If you get this wrong, it's really problematic. There we go. Right, there we go.
Alright, so starting the...
There we go. That's what I was expecting. I knew I needed to keep the ring flat. So yeah, sorry, what was I saying? Yeah. Hilltop's one of the levels where I'm pretty much guaranteed after I defeat the boss that I'm going to take damage. I'm going to fall in the lava below. So I need to keep a ring for that. Otherwise, I'm basically going to defeat the boss and then instantly die, which is not good. We don't want that.
Yep, and then it's Flying Battery 2 complete.
Hey, 4 down. 38 good tails, really.
We'll shuffle back over to Casino Night 1. Get his hits in there.
Thanks, Tails.
Most Sonic bosses, of course, taking 8 hits, but a lot of the bosses in Sonic 3 taking 6, and some of the finals ones taking 16 as well.
Yeah, so Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles is interesting. Basically, the first boss, the mini-boss as it's known as, normally only takes 6 hits rather than the usual 8. It's the second bosses, like the big bosses, the Robotniks, that usually take 8. But there's certain levels where there's multiple bosses. You've got Lava Reef 2 that actually takes 14 hits. Thrilling, I know. And then, yeah, it's all a bit of a mess, really. But this is good progress so far.
Oh no, I was gonna say Hidden Wizard came in just in time to hear when we were talking about Tails. You said Great Hindrance, and they could only assume it was about, quote, the little orange goblin.
I mean, to be fair, these days, if you talk about the Great Hindrance or even the Orange Hindrance, it could mean Tails or it could mean my other cat, Alfie.
That is true.
Who, I kid you not, during the middle of one of these runs on my own channel, stepped on my keyboard and reset the game. He is now
You
banned
said
from
chaotic. You did.
He is Tails incarnate.
Alfie's an innocent baby. So I'm hearing two sides of the story.
I say, don't listen to them. They're my mods. They're biased. Especially CBK.
Might be an orange hindrance, but a cute orange hindrance. So it's important.
Aww.
Okay, so this is kind of what we expect for the Unlimited run. We basically have about 11.5 minutes. We were pretty much on time for that. 11.5 minutes of loading in bosses. Then we get about 10-ish minutes. That's bad. That's really bad. Then we get about 10-ish minutes of kind of randomly fighting different bosses. Might occasionally finish 1 or 2. I'm in a really awful position here. Yeah, might occasionally finish like 1 or 2. And then we're going to... Sorry, 4, 3, 2, 4, 2, 1, 4 next. Sorry, I had to remember the pattern. And then we're going to reach a point probably in around 5 to 8 minutes where suddenly we're just going to start completing bosses one after the other. Okay, I got the ring at least. So yeah, given the bad position I'm in, Lava Reef 2, the reason why I say I'm in bad position, there's 14 hits on that boss. We've done 2 so far. And I've just lost my fire shield. Considering that there's only little platforms to stand on and the rest of it is fire, that's really not good. I kind of only have myself to blame.
It's very not good, and also Lava Reef is a pretty much auto-scroller boss where you just pretty much have to wait for Eggman to hurt himself, which means that dying on the boss is just painfully slow.
The only good thing here, so just as a reminder to... Oh, I missed the capsule. Whoops. Just a reminder to everyone. The most important thing... 2, 3, 4, 5. Most important thing for me right now is trying to avoid Death Egg Finale, which is like the final Death Egg in Sonic & Knuckles. The longer we can avoid that one, the better. Couple of reasons for it. Firstly, it's a minute faster if we do it without swapping. And if it's the last one left, there's no more swaps to do. That'd be great. The second reason is there's a section in it which is auto-scroller hold right, and it can be very problematic in as much as if when we swap back to it, I'm not holding right, it's pretty much instant death. And then you got to do the whole thing again, you'll lose a minute to a minute and a half. Which means if we get to that point and we've got other bosses left, we essentially have to keep holding right at all times as we swap between levels on the off chance we go back there. It's a whole thing. I have lost many runs to that problem. Yeah. That's now 11 down, so you can see we're starting to finish some of them off. It is truly random as to which ones we're going to here, but we're obviously getting quite favourable swaps at this point. Tails, get down there.
We are, and also it's pretty much all the Sonic 1 bosses that have gone down first, so I think our only Sonic 1 boss remaining is Spring Yard Zone, according to the notes that I'm making.
Excellent. Glad you're keeping track, 'cause I'm not.
I'm trying. I'm trying to keep track through the chaos.
It's kind of an interesting thing. Like, the reality is that probably more subconsciously than anything, if I'm being truly honest with you all. More subconsciously than anything, I am kind of keeping track of where we are in each boss, how many hits we've done. It's not something I'm specifically memorizing, you just get a good feel for it. And you get a good feel for your positioning and where you are as you do this. So I don't know exactly how we're doing across all the bosses, but I could probably tell you roughly. And to be honest, we've now got a 1-minute auto-scroller, so tell you what, Emily, if you've got any messages, now's a great time to jump in.
What an amazing segue. So I wanted to make a joke about like Save the Children and Tails being a child, but I didn't want to make you like spit your drink while you're taking a moment for yourself.
Nice.
No, really, guys, every single dollar counts. Thank you so much just for being here, for turning out for your streamer. But for real, even $1 can provide treatment for kids for pneumonia. 4 kids, $10 for high nutrient peanut paste that can feed a child for 10 days. Like every single dollar is finessed to maximize its potential through Save the Children worldwide. So thank you so much for being here, for opening your wallet, for supporting your streamers, and just generally having a good old time with us here today.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. This is awesome. I mean, I'm glad Mendez is keeping track because I'm not. I can't. It's so much flashing.
Also,
as I say, I'm trying. Wow.
I'm seeing as they finish, though. Yeah, I am. I'm starting to get the hang of it.
So, we are over a third of the way there, and you might be looking at it going, hang on, you're only a third of the way through, but you're 23 minutes in. How on earth are you going to bring this in under 40 minutes? Don't panic, this is completely normal fun limited. The bosses will rack up. Normally on the 4 boss count, what I tend to aim for is you want to be doing about 1 boss per minute. So, at this point, you would be behind, but as kind of said, like, we're at that stage now where quite a few of these are going to start going down fast. So you can see we just completed 2, in fact 3, in quick succession. So this will start to catch up. 4 in quick succession. Nice.
Absolutely, that's really nice.
I can't lie, I'm watching Tails a lot now, and sometimes he just does his own thing.
So there are people out there, Emily, that will say to you, Tails is just doing what you tell him to do, just on a slight delay. So if he does anything you don't want him to do, it's entirely the runner's fault. However, as a seasoned Sonic runner, I refute that completely. Because yes, while he does generally do what, like, the buttons you press on a slight delay, he definitely has a mind of his own at times. And my luck in levels like Mystic Cave with this specifically will definitely prove that. He will just randomly jump into the boss despite me not pressing anything.
Right, I'm watching you crouch and tell him to stay down, and then he does another extra jump for funsies, because, I don't know, he's trolling you.
Tails is just vibing, okay?
Can he go vibe somewhere else?
Right along with Mendez's joke, Ralph Amir said, I'm halting.
There we go. See, I didn't tell him to spin dash. Why is he spin dashing? I didn't command him to do that.
Proof.
Also, for all the Sonic runners out there, we just got 3 slinkies. So we love a good slinky.
They do, and you know, they're also talking about the incident or the event.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
It's probably going to be Bovril related, and all I'll say is this.
It looks like it.
If you don't know what Bovril is, save yourself. Just don't.
That's my favorite part about speed docs and all the communities we come into contact with. There's always like this framework of memes, and they come out during chat, so it's very cool to see.
It's become a whole thing.
Oh no.
Even though I've just said don't, I kind of feel like I owe it to you all to explain. So you know what I'm going to do? Mendez, do you want to explain Bovril?
Oh, I've been staying as far away from this meme as I physically can. Don't you drag me into this. Don't you drag me into Bovril.
Too late.
They're just going. Now they're talking about Tails as a small sibling who gets sent to help you, but then they actually drop the tools or spill the milk and you have to find him again.
Oh god, that's so true. There's a reason you always give your younger sibling the second player controller when you're doing Sonic 2.
Right.
Like, you be Tails and just have fun, you know? And stay away from what I'm doing. Have I still not done Hydro 2? This is a really bad Hydro 2, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Okay, we're good.
You'll notice some like background glitching elements as well at some points because sometimes the swaps are a little bit difficult to handle.
By the way, if you hear any random speedrunner noises, don't worry, it's completely normal for this. There have been multiple memes to come out of that one. There's just moments, and the biggest problem is there's moments while I'm running this and I'm talking and things just happen and I can't help it, and I just end up saying things. 2, 3, 4, 5. So, you know, I was talking earlier about weird... Whoops. That's fine. Give me a ring, give me a ring. Oh, bummer.
Oh, yeah, with that ring. So let's hope we don't swap to something like the Lava Reef 2 or something that would be... Approach is death at 0 rings.
That's the worst one. That's like the worst one I could have died on. I mean, I'll get rings now, but that wasn't ideal. Bummer. Okay. Yeah. So you know I was talking earlier about there's some levels whereby the game doesn't always swap, or it can do extra swaps. I was going to say Mushroom Hill 2's boss is one of those ones whereby, for whatever reason, the final hit, even though it's not meant to swap you, still swaps you. We also get that in fact, the one we just died on in Death Egg 1 with Red Eye, whereby the first hit doesn't swap you for reasons, but the last hit does. It's not meant to do it that way, but hey, game memory is weird. What can we say? We're doing really well, though. We are now 2/3 of the way through, 14 to go. Making good progress, although I'd really prefer not to be in Death Egg Finale like that. How? I swear I've hit this boss.
Wait. You hit them twice. You got 2 hits there and neither of them swapped you, right?
No. More in the fact that I could have sworn I got more than 5 hits on the initial build-up. There you go, see, perfect proof. We just come back to this one and he's already dead, so... oh well. Okay, 12 to go now, so we're on good pace here.
I can't even keep up with all the memes they're throwing at y'all in chat.
Again, my advice is don't bother trying. just as long as they're happy. As long as they're happy. Hey, right, Hydro 2 finally done. Yeah. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's really bad. And I've screwed up Uwe Ball now. Oh, this is super bad. Oh, this is super mega bad.
That is kind of not great.
Oh my lord. This is. Oh, thank goodness for that.
There we go.
Last hit.
Good thing that was a really good thing that was last hit.
The problem I have now is I just lost rings and I'm dead. Yeah, that's fine. To be honest, if I'm gonna die, like I've just died on that level, it's minimal time loss at this point. Let's go get some more rings.
Yeah. And honestly, like it's Red Eye is probably one of the better ones to die to at this point because you can go and get 30 rings, whereas dying to something like Death Egg, the final boss of Sonic 2, you would get 0 rings because there are 0 rings on that stage.
Yeah.
So that would pretty much guarantee another death. Because there's not many bosses where you can collect rings mid-boss.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 are really bad for that, by the way.
Yeah.
Even going so far as like with Mystic Cave, where the checkpoint is, it traps you in the boss arena, so you can't even go back into the level and get rings. Like once you're there, and you're just done for. Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles, they thankfully were much kinder on that front. Okay. But yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, so in Death Egg Sonic 2, where you just saw me lose the rings, just saw an instance of a really annoying phenomenon that can happen in Sonic games, especially Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, which is if you take damage, so you take a hit, you lose your rings, for whatever reason, Sonic doesn't seem to pick rings up until you jump. Until you leave, like, the ground that you're on, he won't actually pick up rings again. Which is really irritating, especially as far as, like, you know, needing rings. Which is why I tried jumping to grab a ring, actually hit the boss, and ended up swapping away. So that's another one of the weird quirks we have to kind of be careful of with this run, and just understanding like the quirks of the different games. Because we're running Sonic 3 standalone, we have things like the insta-shield bug that we need to be careful of, whereby if the insta-shield is active when you land on the ground, the insta-shield then won't work again the next time you try to use it, and that can cause problems. You can accidentally take damage, and as we know, damage loses rings, and losing rings is bad. So yeah, it's all kinds of fun quirkiness and games. Oh,
Yep, absolutely. Oh,
Okay.
there goes the ring.
Yeah, okay, play this safe. Oh, you're joking!
Oh, that's Launch Phase 2 as well. That's a really long one because that's got the minute also scroller.
I
but we-
cannot believe he shot the laser right.
That was so unlucky.
Okay, that's really frustrating. That's a minute 42 loss. Dang. That's okay, though. We're fine. We got 6 to go. Annoyingly, they're pretty much all finales right now.
Minda's
Yeah.
already said it. Y'all are vibing. Don't even, no worries. Yeah.
You do find a lot with this. These tend to be the last bosses left just because these are the ones that take a lot more hits or a lot longer, whereas like there's more chance to swap to the bosses with less health and kill them earlier. Whereas these obviously you need to swap to them more often in order to kill them, so... yeah, this tends to be the end game quite often, I think.
Game's just being mean to me right now. Okay. I mean, I will be honest, I'm not exactly playing this safe right now.
Where's the fun in that?
Exactly.
Right.
Like, it's a marathon. We don't play things safe. I could play things much safer than I am, and I'm just choosing not to. Oh, we're into hold right territory. This is bad.
We are. Just get holding right. Enjoy.
Thanks. Okay, Doomsday should be done in a second, which is good. In fact, this is going to be last hit in Doomsday now, so that brings us down to 5. I really want Lava Reef to go. Yeah, okay, right. Oh, that's mistake. Oh, you're bad. Okay, so this is now. Oh God.
Oh, doing a
They're
long
all long levels. I really
That's a
don't want to be
long
taking
level. That's a long death. No.
Oh, how close was I? I was like 15 seconds from finishing this. Good lord.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, our 5 remaining levels are Death Egg in Sonic 2, Launch Base 2 in Sonic 3, Lava Reef 2 and Death Egg 1, and the Death Egg finale in Sonic and Knuckles.
I'm not gonna lie. This has not been a kind seed.
It really hasn't.
Normally we're not left with these ones together. This is like one of the worst groups you can get together.
Yeah.
Like the finale's inevitably almost come back here.
Hold right.
Yeah. The finales almost inevitably always end up together for some reason, but having them all is not all that common. Okay, at least that's done. Thank goodness for that.
All right,
Okay.
Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 all both fully complete now.
Oh, and I just... I've got to hold right every time now, and I really don't want to be for some of these.
Oh!
It's okay, got ring. Ah!
Should we just keep reminding you to hold right?
4 to go, and it's the worst 4 combined.
Huds, remember to hold right.
Yeah, I did.
Incredible. I'm helping.
More than I am. I mean, you're great.
Okay. Death Egg finale done. We're fine.
Death Egg finale done. Okay.
And now I've got a minute to sit here. So, seeing as we're going to be watching this cutscene again, Emily, if there's any messages you got, feel free to jump in.
Oh, fantastic. No, I just want to say, if you've joined us in the last half hour, welcome. We are doing the second run of the second day of Speed Doxathon 2023. It's Speed Dox's annual fundraiser for Save the Children, and every single dollar counts. They have maximized, even down to the dollar, what you can give back to kids worldwide in peacetime and wartime, and just education, keeping them fed, clean, happy, safe, and giving them a fair shot at life is their goal. So everything from hanging out in chat to supporting your runners here, you are helping us right here on Speed Docs. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Save the Children really do incredible work. So if any of you are able to donate, if you've got any spare money, I heard that.
You said do. Said that.
then yeah, please do donate if you are in the position of being able to. It really
Absolutely. Otherwise, we're just here for a good old time, memes and dreams.
Exactly. So we have this Lava Reef 2, which is a full auto-scroller. It takes 1 minute and 40 seconds-ish. So we're just here for another minute. There's nothing we can do. We've got Launch Base here, which I'm hoping not to die on again. I can't believe that laser sniped me.
Yeah.
And then we've got, obviously, Red Eye being a pain in the butt, as always.
Yep, and these are our only 3 stages left to go.
Oh, my ring. Yeah, bah. Okay. Okay, this is not good. Oh, my ring fell through the floor, because of course it did. And I'm in a really bad position on Red Eye. I'm not going to lie. I'm in a really bad position.
Yeah. So we're hoping for a swap to Launch Base here, and then... I don't know what, honestly. I don't know what we're hoping for. I'm just hoping to not get hit. Full stop.
Yeah, basically.
Just hope to not get hit. I think we're doing the rest of this ringless, ideally.
I'm going to be brutally honest at this point. I don't think this is coming in underestimate anymore. Because annoyingly, even after this, there's like a really annoying long outro cutscene for Launch Base. And then we still got the auto scroller of Lava Reef. It's like I say, it's not only the worst levels to have left, but I mean, without a ring, it's really bad. Yeah, it's the worst levels to have left combined with just the worst levels to have taken a death on. Really frustrating. But hey, it's one of them things.
All right, it's fine. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. You got this.
They're hyping you up in chat too. They're all giving you power-ups. You got this.
Chat is giving you that power right now. You can do all of these 3 bosses without getting hit.
What? Why did I just... Oh, thank goodness, Red Eye's
Why did you do that?
I was just about to say, why did I just do the... Like,
why did you do that?
You know what's really annoying? I got the hit! I got the hit, and it still was like, nah. I'm so sorry, SDAT. The estimate is completely blown apart right now.
Oh, don't even worry about that. We're having a good time and we're on time. You're fine.
Can I just point out, by the way, I have genuinely done the unlimited category with like 15 deaths and brought it in under 40 minutes. I'm on 6 right now, and hopefully 6 is where it's going to stay. And, great. Lava Reef's done. So hopefully 6 is where it's going to stay now, and it's going over estimate. Such is the randomness and the RNG we play with when it comes to... Oh, God, this cutscene again. Such is the randomness and the RNG that we play with when it comes to the Boss Rush Shuffler. I got dealt a really bad hand with... The thing is, like, with the unlimited category, because we load all the bosses, it's not the RNG of the order the bosses that come in that get you. Oh, no. It's the order of the swaps that come after that determine how good the seed is. And looking at the order that we've completed them in, let's just go into my splits. Excuse me. Ooh. Yeah, like the last 6 levels: Doomsday, Death Egg Finale, Death Egg 1, Lava Reef 2, Launch Base 2. The 6 worst ones to get last.
Yeah.
Oh, it's brutal.
Just the bosses with more HP, less chance to switch them, less chance to do them early.
On the plus side, because there's no more bosses, there's no more swaps, so we just got to finish this one now. And again, famous last words, this should be relatively straightforward. Because I've got a ring and, you know, we'll be fine. Time for regular strats. Yeah, hey, at least I can now do regular strats, so there's always that.
And you know, there's something nice and climactic about finishing on big arms.
To be honest, it's always one of the nice things to finish on a final boss of some kind. Like, you get kind of a quote-unquote proper finish. So, it is nice. Oh, only 3, okay. Yeah.
Which I feel like is probably something that's more common with the unlimited as opposed to the 4 bosses at a time.
So if I counted right, this should be final hit. Hey. So
Let's go.
That's final hit. Annoyingly, we now have to sit through like a 35-second outro. So it's like, it's done. All my work's done, controller's down. But we still got to sit and wait as the clock ticks by.
Jay says it's a good thing. They said it's nice we get the outro as our ending.
Yeah, that is true.
Like we said, we're vibing. We're here for a good time, not a long time.
Well, we're here for a long time as well, apparently.
Oh, brutal. Wait for it, wait for it. Time is coming up in about 5 seconds. And... time. In-game time of 42:13. RTA of whatever it comes out to. But
GG's in chat.
GG's everyone. That is I love the Boss Rush Shuffler. That was an awful. For any of you that ever play this, if you do put your own seed in, 0913, don't bother with it. It's a terrible seed.
Yeah, just skip over to 0914. Don't worry about this one. We've done this one, so you don't have to. 6 deaths, 415 swaps. How are you feeling?
It's only 6 deaths as well.
Only 6 deaths. They were just all really long ones.
I've genuinely done it with like triple deaths and brought it in under 40 minutes. I did say at the beginning though that we'd get around about 8 to 10 deaths, so we came in under that at least. So I think that's worth something.
Yeah, it was like controlled chaos.
It is unfortunately the roll of the dice with the Boss Rush Shuffler. Like all 3 of the categories, 4 boss count, 8 boss count, and unlimited. You know, I can bring them in under 40, suitably under 40, but sometimes you roll the dice and the game just, you know, throws you back some ones. But hey, that was the Boss Rush Shuffler, 4 games, unlimited boss count. I really hope you all enjoyed it. Just a couple of really quick shout outs. This is my last ever marathon run, in fact my last ever stream of any kind, from this particular room that I've been streaming in since I started 3 years ago. Literally the moment we finish this, I'm dismantling my desk and those wardrobes and moving them to the new house. So yeah, it's a nice way to send it off. So big shout outs to firstly Mindez, of course, for coming here and commentating. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Mindez.
Thank you as well to everyone in Club 601. Thank you all for the support you've shown me over the years. I'm sorry August has been a bit quiet. I promise my back's getting better slowly and we'll be back to things once the move is all complete. And a big shout out as well to SDAT. Thank you so much for having me back on. Sorry about the estimate, but I hope you enjoyed it nevertheless, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the marathon. Mindez, any shout outs for you?
Yeah, I just want to say, if anybody else is running anything involving randomizers or random seeds and wants a really bad one, just invite me to come on commentary. I'm always available.
I was gonna say, what is it with you and bad randomizers on marathons? You have a history, madam.
It's a service that I provide for everybody.
I should have known.
Thank you both so much for your time. The chaos was fun. Don't worry about the estimate. I'll take it. I'll take the hit for CCCJ. Don't even worry about that. That was awesome. And you guys showcased what a chaotic, insane, like, just weird run. But you guys both handled it just well. Thank you for your shout outs. Well, let's get his Twitch link in there. Let's get her link in there. Let's click that Tiltify link if you want to go toward any other incentives. And we'll probably be right back here just shortly. So thank you so much both for your time today and dedication to speed docs and to save the children in general. And please be careful with your back when you're moving, HUDs. Don't make it worse.
I'll be careful.
Okay.
Cheers, everyone.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna switch over and give these guys a quick break before we come back to our next run. What a run! Thank you so much for being here. It's day 2. That was run 2 of weekend 1. There's so many things to keep track of here, but you don't have to. You just get to sit and watch cool Adult Swim-esque bumpers, learn about Save the Children, And really, you're contributing just by sitting here, just by being in chat, just by sharing that Twitter link that's pinned in chat. You are telling your friends you're here and bringing more people in, and we appreciate that here at Speed Doc, so thank you so much. We're starting the third run here shortly with Kitsune taking over for me, Kitsune of Dreams. With more Sonic Adventure, Knuckles' story, and there is an incentive. I'm gonna check, but Lost World skipless. We're gonna see Squeefy run with commentator Withermin, and it's just gonna be a good old time. If you're here from the other Sonic side, welcome. It's still. Thank you for hanging out for more.